Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing almost like a mashup of different celebrities, revisiting some, in particular Selena Gomez and Jussie Smollett on that case. I know that this has been something that has been requested by a lot of you out there. You've asked me to kind of do an update to the original video that I had done on Jussie Smollett from the Empire TV show, and what I had saw initially versus what many people had seen or chose to believe about him. So I will start there and get your tea ready, get your teacups, and let's go ahead and dive into this. So I'm starting to do more on cameras because a lot of you said that you like to see my face and connect it to the voice than just having like a PowerPoint presentation. So when I can and when I feel good, because not every day I feel good, recovering, and just, some days we're human, we don't feel good to be in front of the camera. I will try my best to do as many in front of the face or in front of the camera appearances that I can. Well, I will start off by addressing the Jussie Smollett case. I said what I said, and for those of you that don't remember, I remember doing the video and I said that he was innocent, and that's what I had felt from spirit and what I had seen. Do I still stand by that? I do. And, I don't expect anyone else to agree with me. There's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of bashing that has gone on with me on other channels. In particular, one comment, on one of the fellow YouTubers that does psychic readings as well on Jussie Smollett. It's a group of sisters, but there was a comment, and it's not them, but their viewers. One lady commented, she's like, yeah, 25% of what he says is accurate. Look at my stank face. So, there's just people that are not really in tune with my channel. A lot of the, predictions and things that I've seen and on celebrities, if you go back to my Sam Smith psychic reading, I predicted that. If you go back to, there's just so many, Drake, and the list goes on and on and on. But I'm not here to defend myself or defend my gift. People are going to judge Jussie because he is gay, because he's African American, he's black. But, I still feel that there is something twisted with this whole case. It's political in nature. A lot of people have referred to it the political narrative, but I really feel and really do see that this is political in nature. Not Jussie pushing the narrative, but the Chicago Police Department. In the last couple of days, there's been evidence that suggests, or that has allegedly surfaced, that the twins, the Nigerian brothers, those guys, had lied. They lied about Jussie, and the checks have been revealed, and they showed that they were for personal training, and actual text messages that have been exchanged. Again, proving, or at least validating somewhat, or making you think in some kind of manner that possibly, or potentially, that Jussie could be telling the truth, even though a lot of people want to say, the story is bogus and that he's changed it. But a lot of people that ran with these stories on YouTube and through all these news media outlets, these people that have done that, they followed media, and media is going to run any story for views, for money. They make money off of these tabloids, the views, the headlines, all of these articles. So I don't trust the media at all when it comes to stories. All these allegedly police source, a Chicago source, quote unquote source, reporting this and this and this. But in the last 2 days, it has surfaced a lot of the evidence that, I guess, from Jussie's camp, of lawyers or defense team. But there's been, photographs of the text messages exchanged, and also those checks with the memo, showing that it was as Jussie had said. Also, the Nigerian brothers, Ola, I believe it was Ola, back in 2013, did a tweet on Twitter, and they stated, what they said was something along the lines, it was like they were being homophobic. and it was there, you know, and people started calling that out. It came out on TMZ, and it came out on other news sources. And so a lot of people have tuned into that, and they're like saying, something just doesn't add up. And when you look at the text messages, I mean, not the text messages, but the tweets that they did on Twitter, I would say that they are homophobic by, you know, what they put on there. And interestingly enough, the next day they deleted the tweets. So obviously, you know, people are going to say, you know, well, maybe Jussie's team is trying to reach really far for, you know, evidence against the twins. Or could it be that the twin, or not, I'm calling them the twins, I don't know why I do that, but the brothers, could it be that the Nigerian brothers are actually lying and they fabricated this story? A lot of people would say, well, why would they fabricate it? Well, why do people fabricate stories all the time? Maybe to get support, to become, you know, even more famous, be in the news, you know, and look like they are innocent. But obviously, I mean, there's something not right if you go ahead and delete your tweet that you blatantly are homophobic, and you said again to the police that you are not homophobic and you're not against lesbians or LGBTQ community, but you know, go and delete that tweet. Now, either they deleted it due to their, you know, the police department, but psychically, I can tell you there's a lot of twists and turns to this case. I do feel like it was used in many ways to push further the political agendas that, you know, whatever party, whether it's a Republican or, you know, Democratic, you know, there's just a lot that is not being said. And I feel like there's a lot more that Jussie's team is going to come out with as far as evidence. Interestingly enough as well, the Chicago PD police chief or whatever, he was on one of the news shows, for those of you that are not aware, and it's like he's milking it, you know, like, where have you ever seen a lot of the, you know, police department chiefs, you know, go on to the news and really just start, you know, talking about cases? And it's almost like he wants that fame and that celebrity, and, you know, when someone is really thirsty for that 15 minutes of fame, which is really, really odd, you know, in all of this, but not really if you think about it. And, you know, they had also said that Chicago PD had said that, you know, a lot of the evidence that they had found against Jussie, like the letter, they believe that he sent himself that letter days before the, you know, alleged attack. But the thing is that the FBI has said even that they don't believe that, you know, they believe they jumped, the Chicago Police Department jumped the gun, that, you know, for them to come out and say that they believe that Jussie did that, when in fact, you know, they haven't finished their investigation yet, and they had said that they don't believe yet that he had actually done that himself. You know, there's just a lot of contradicting information that's put out in the media. But, you know, that those things that are surfacing now about the Nigerian brothers, you know, that they obviously are homophobic, and obviously, you know, their story doesn't add up with the information that is there. It's like, I feel like the Chicago PD is corrupt in many ways, and they are reaching for stories. They're reaching for things, you know. They say that they have all this evidence, blah blah blah, but yet we have to see it. And, you know, whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty in a court of law? Jussie even hasn't even had you know, his trial yet, or had his moment in court. So, you know, then you have Terrence Howard. They ran headlines that he didn't support Jussie, you know, that he had an outburst and yada yada yada. But, you know, yet he is, you know, Terrence Howard, you know, did go ahead and publish a video, a small snippet of Jussie, you know, holding the baby. And obviously he supports Jussie, you know, off screen as well. And a lot of people are still supporting them, you know. And then there's theories of Kamala Harris, you know, being related to Jussie, and, you know, it's just ridiculous when you see all this. You know, Jussie has gotten so much attention from all of this, but it's all been negative, and I can only, my heart goes out only to his family and to his friends, you know, and people that that still support him, and that don't think that he's lying, you know, in many ways. But you know, I can also empathize with the LGBT community. I personally took the story very hard, because I have gone through several of the things that that, you know, he had described in my own personal life, being bullied throughout my childhood. And even, you know, now as a YouTuber here on YouTube, you know, there's a lot of things that I don't discuss with y'all because of the fact that, you know, it's not really needed. But a lot of the memes and things that I post are, you know, for reasons out there. But I have a lot of people that have their own YouTube channels, you know, that are unfortunately doing what I do as psychic readings, you know, and they're, you know, they see me as competition. They see me as, you know, wanting to take that YouTuber down because he only has a small channel and they have, you know, a bigger channel. And then you have a lot of supporters, you know, of these psychic readers that, you know, want to tear me down for what I said. But, you know, aren't we entitled to our own opinion? And I think a lot of people don't understand that being psychic, we're not always 100% correct. We're not God, and I've always stated that myself. You know, so again, I'm not making any excuses or defending my gift at all, but I will stand and stick by to what I said, that I still believe until either Jussie says that he is guilty and admits to it, or it is found in a court of law with substantial evidence that he is guilty, will I, you know, stop supporting him until then. But, you know, we have to stand with each other as brothers and sisters. We have to stick together. And I feel like this is a very important message, me, you know, being in front of the camera and talking to you about it. We have to support one another. You know, if people were so, you know, quick to tear him down, and like I said in one of the community posts on my YouTube page that I posted just a couple of days ago, would people be the same if this was a female and she was white? You know, or this, I'm not, you know, trying to play the race game, but it's very true. Being that he is gay and that he is African American, you know, people are so ready to question his, you know, his credibility. But had this happened to someone that was white and a female, would it be the same? Or a male that is white, you know, Caucasian, would it be the same as somebody that is Hispanic, you know, Asian, or African American? That's kind of the questions that you need to ask yourself. Would it be the same? Would they be treated the same? And I know that there's a lot of victims out in the LGBT community that have been, you know, coming forth and saying it's disgusting what Jussie did, that he lied, and this and this, and that they actually had gone through it. And my heart goes out to you because I've gone through it myself, so I know where you're coming from. But the thing is that we cannot sit here as human beings and think it's okay to tear people apart, because it's not. I mean, you're not perfect out there that are looking at this video. You know, you can point your fingers all you want at me. You can point them at any YouTuber, but at the end of the day, your life is not perfect. And I think, you know, YouTube has become this place, and, you know, other forums, that it's become so, people have come so complacent and so comfortable sitting behind a keyboard and being a bully. But instead of saying it to your face, you know, in the street, you know, or saying it out, because it's so easy to be a keyboard bully, to be a Poindexter and, you know, say whatever you want to say. But, you know, at the same time, I feel like, you know, we need to give people the benefit of the doubt. You can never trust the media. The media is always going to spin things. And like, I have been following this case with Jussie for quite some time since it happened. And it's like every hour on the hour, there are new quote-unquote stories that are being published. It's ridiculous, the amount. You know, I've never followed this kind of case before, and I've never taken anything, you know, to heart before. One of the good things that I had a conversation with one of my great friends and consider like a second mom, Jennifer, and she knows who she is, but she is a CEO and she's an entrepreneur, and we were having this conversation, and she was like, Raymond, you know, I really do feel, I've watched all your videos and you're excellent at what you do, but you kind of, you know, got your emotions a little too invested into the Jussie's video, and it kind of could have overshadowed, you know, what you saw psychically. And, you know, I do feel like there's some validation in that. You know, I am someone that is very level-headed, but sometimes when there's something that hits me at the core, because I am human at the end of the day, I think like a lot of you out there, something like, you know, this that has happened to Jussie, I felt like I could identify with it, and it brought up all these feelings of what I had gone through, almost like reliving everything that I had gone through myself. And sometimes that, as a psychic, you have to put it aside, because that can overshadow your reading. So I do feel like part of that, you know, of my reading, you know, am I wrong, you know, saying that he didn't lie, and could he have possibly lied? You know, anything is possible. But I always trust my spirit guides, and I always try to, you know, see the good in people and give them the benefit of the doubt. So if he lied, you know, I'll be very soul crushed, and you know, I won't support him anymore. But again, until he comes out, the words come out of his mouth, or it is proved in a court of law that he is guilty on all accounts, up until that point, you know, I still stand with Jussie, and I still support him. And I do feel, like I said, there's going to be more evidence that is going to come out in his favor against the Chicago PD, against these brothers, Nigerian brothers, that supposedly went and did this at, you know, per Jussie's request. Because again, a lot of the things that are coming out don't add up. So again, you know, you're more than welcome to feel what you feel. You know, this is what I feel. We're all entitled to our own insight, our own opinions on this. But as far as the case being, you know, completed, and we can concretely say that, you know, he did this and he did that, you know, we need to give people the benefit of the doubt, and you know, kind of see how things play out in the legal system. Okay, now moving on to Selena Gomez. She's been spotted with Zac Efron. There's rumors that she's been they're dating, or they're an item. And so that's something that I wanted to address. So I'm going to just kind of revisit the psychic reading. That's another reading that you can go to. I saw that, you know, she was going to do this, or that she was going to get sick. You know, I talked about it, and a lot of that came out to be, you know, accurate as well. Revisiting her situation, I really do feel like she is in a spot right now where she is moving on. Does it bother her that Justin and Haley are together? You know, I feel like she will always love Justin and always have a good spot for, you know, in her heart for him regardless, because I don't feel like she's the kind to hold grudges, and she knows how unhealthy that would be. But I do feel like she's moved on from it, and she's so over, you know, people still talking about this, you know, they want to see Justin and Selena back together, because apparently Justin still has feelings for Selena. You know, if that was the case, Justin should have thought twice before marrying Haley Baldwin. But have you seen both of them yet lately in the news? They don't look very happy. And that's what I had said also back in my 2 readings that I did for Justin, that, you know, I had seen that they were going to stay, that possibly they would get married, but if they did, or they would get together, that relationship wouldn't last for long. But I don't feel like they're very happy in their relationship at this point. I don't see them being happy at all energetically. Justin looks very drained. And I feel like they're coming to the realization that maybe they jumped the gun a little too soon. And although, you know, there's been tabloids and there's been, you know, articles that, you know, he's in, you know, he loves Haley, and that, you know, you can't hide your energy, and you can't lie about it. You know, people can see through energy. That's something that's very apparent. With Selena Gomez, you know, if she's seeing Zac, I feel it's like more just like friends than anything. But of course, people are going to spin it in the tabloids like, you know, oh, well, they're dating, this and this. We still have yet to see. But I do feel like she will be entering a relationship, you know, within the next 2 years or less. So, you know, her love life is going to come back if it's not already. And she deserves it. The poor girl has been through hell and back, you know. And I have a lot of sympathy for Selena, because it's not easy, you know, when people are talking about your ex and then, you know, making up stories about you. You know, but I feel like she's a very strong girl. Well, I call her a girl, but she's a woman already. But, you know, she's very strong, and she really is going to be resilient. I feel like her health is back on track, and she's gotten, you know, stronger mentally, physically, and you know, she's just going to continue to blossom, and we're going to see a lot of good, positive things for Selena. I'm rooting for her. I'm a big fan of Selena Gomez, But apart from all of that, you know, from being a fan, I really feel like she is on the right track for her career, you know, releasing new music soon. We should see her being released, you know, releasing new music. I feel like she's working on that. Maybe even hitting the TV screen, new movie roles within the next 2 years or so. So she's, you know, very focused right now on her coins, getting her money, and on her, you know, her love life, you know, focusing on rebuilding that. But above all, you know, spending quality time with her friends and her girls, you know, her girlfriends, and really just, you know, living life to the fullest. She's living her best life regardless of what people or the media, you know, puts out there. And that is something that's very strong and very commendable, because not everyone is able to do that. Not everyone is able to move on and really be strong about, you know, their feelings and move on from a very toxic situation. Because I really do feel, and I will say this, that Justin and her were a very toxic combo, and for her it was very toxic, and it did lead to her health deteriorating, you know. But Justin has grown too. I feel like he's growing. He's going through growing pains still. He's a very young adult, you know, even though some people say that he's, you know, a little older. But again, I feel like he is on his path as well to rebuilding, you know, some kind of life, even if it's not long-term with Haley. You know, he is going to, you know, still continue to work on his music. I feel like he's lost the passion in life in many ways. And it's very apparent, you know. People will say, you know, it's not, you know, you can't judge someone by the outside, but it's not really judging, you know. If you look at the way Justin looks now versus what he looked like years ago, when someone stops caring about life, it's very evident on the outside as well. You know, things start shifting, the way that you look, it changes completely, your demeanor changes. And so that's what I get, you know, from him, is that things have changed in his life, and he may not be living his best life right now. And again, there are some regrets. There are things that, you know, that he may not be proud of, but he is still working towards being a better person, and we can't sit here and judge him, you know, for that. So I wish him all the best in his journey with Haley, and I wish Haley all the best, you know, as well. And I hope that, you know, that I'm wrong, and I hope that their relationship works out. If that's what makes Justin happy, you know, I think that's wonderful. And, you know, if Haley completes him, that's wonderful. But, you know, again, I can't sit here and say the contrary when I feel like it's just not, you know, it's not really, you know, gonna work out. That's what I've seen, and I stick to it as well. Some people have requested for me to do Queen Nausea. I don't know if I said her name right. Please, in the comment section below, you know, you can let me know if I've said her name right. She was a YouTuber that rose to fame very quickly, and kind of has, you know, already released music, signed to a record company, and she's released a song called Karma and some other, you know, songs as well. And there's a lot of people that want me to do a psychic reading on her. So if you'd like to see me do a psychic reading on Queen Nausea, comment in the comment section below. Again, there's a lot of other people that I will be doing. This is Black History Month, so you know, there's the last couple of days this week I will be trying to do a little bit more of the you know, prominent figures in Black history that that stood out. Something that I feel like a lot of my fellow YouTubers haven't really focused on, or really don't, you really don't see too much of it. You know, yes, they do stars, you know, that are out there that may be Black, but they don't do a lot of the history. So I will be working, and not because it's just Black History Month, but because of the fact that, you know, I want to go ahead and make sure that, you know, I cover different topics. So I will still be doing you know, prominent figures in Black history throughout the year. You know, I always do that, and we'll be doing some historical readings as well. I'm kind of switching it up and doing different things. This is kind of like a mashup, you know, kind of like revisiting different stories, different psychic readings that I've done today. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you would like to set up a private reading with me, you can go to my website. That's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.